Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Up right in corner we have Brown starting as the blue Terran. Bottom left in corner we have Shine starting as the orange Zerg. Shine, one of the top Zerg on the ladder right this second. I wanted to do this. I don't know anything about Brown. I don't know if he's an amazing player or not, but really I wanted to highlight Kickback on this, in particular TVZ. And so I'm wondering if, mostly because I have not previewed this replay to see whether it's going to be the case or not, but I guess I just did this to rant about the new Queen thing. So the usual problem for Zerg, right, is being able to get access to 3 gas to make your way towards higher tier tech. Here, 3 gas is basically guaranteed, and you can make a nice wall here, at which point my argument here is that Ensnare becomes a lot stronger, which is why we saw Queens recently in SSL, fielded by in the round of 8, which might be a spoiler here, fielded by, hopefully people have watched that game, fielded by Sulky. I don't know that Queens are going to be the normal thing. I could be totally wrong, in which case I will not upload these to YouTube because I'll be like, whoops, we'll do something else because I don't want to look dumb. That's what it comes down to. Just kidding. I'll probably upload them anyway and look stupid because it's not like I haven't done that for decades now in the realm of StarCraft. Lost my train of thought. Anyway, Ensnare completely decimates. It basically almost negates Stimpack is what it comes down to. A very, very strong spell, and I think it just makes the Sunken Colony defense a lot more impressive with Lurker Tech. I feel like, hopping back a topic, I feel like it's just the nature of Brood War, even for players. It's just like the constant state of like you never know what you're talking about, which is one of the reasons I guess I felt more confident being a commentator, even though I haven't had time to dedicate to this game. I think it makes it a lot harder to figure stuff out because I got to figure stuff out without being a high level player. I'm just going to toot my own horn right there. It's harder for me, you guys, because I don't play. No, it's hard all the way around. It's a hard game. It's very demanding. Very, very demanding mentally and all the way across the board. Anyway, Shine scouting bottom right. The other question is, oh, are we going to see 14? Never mind. Yeah, we're seeing a 14 command center. Or sorry, we're seeing a command center after a barracks, command center, supply depot, no marine here. So Brown going to try to make up the difference by going kind of economically cheesy here to start. That SCV could pose some problems because the drone might, depending on where it goes, the drone already trying to attack that barracks to the front. SCV scouting out, sees the actually 3 racks before gas here, by the way, from Shine. Or sorry, 3 rack, gosh, can't talk. 3 hatchery before gas. I can trust the community to get on me for these sort of things. Anyway, supply depot is going to be up. The wall's going to be up. SCV did get wiped out. That's going to halt. Oof. And that actually hurts Brown's. That's going to cause a bit of a delay here in the build order as well. But command center is secured. SCV going to be able to scramble right back. Now my question is do we see the Sunken Colony defense from Shine? Or are we going to see progression to Mutalisks? Or things along those lines? I honestly wonder if... the one thing I've been wondering about for a long period of time in the Zerg meta is will there be a transition away from Mutalisks at any point as part of the meta? That's always been my curiosity, because like the Mutalisks, they're just so fantastic. Maybe never, because they're so fantastic at the mid game of providing mostly map control and vision. You can pick off Marines if you got the micro well enough, down well enough, but in previous eras where it was like you could count on your Mutalisks in sufficient numbers to rake across SCV lines, at least get some SCV kills to try to slow down the Terran economy. It feels like that's becoming less and less the case with new builds like early Valkyries, things along those lines. +1 weapons, Academy. So this looks like it's going to be a 5 racks in anticipation of dealing with a quick Mutalisk or heavier Mutalisk build, Evolution Chamber, and that kind of makes sense off against the 3 hatchery opener. We do have the early Evolution Chamber, which is something we saw Sulky do as well. And we are seeing +1 Carapace and a very fast tech delayer. This is with no Sunken Colonies currently defending out on the front, by the way. So recognizing that it wasn't a 2 racks build somehow in the midst of this, maybe just because of the faster command center and knowing that it would be a little bit delayed in the midst of this. SCV is getting all sorts of scouting information. By the way, I'm not sure that it'll matter. Spire, constructing. This has been a new addition to Zerg meta at large, is getting that earlier Carapace, and I actually kind of like this because I feel like the earlier Carapace off 3 in-base 3 hatcheries at large, helps deal with that +1 weapons and make Zerglings a little bit stronger in the mid game, which provides a little bit more map control alongside with those Mutalisks. So I feel like the gas has gone away from +1 weapons for Mutalisk play and more towards the +1 armor, which especially it's really nice down the line when it provides like a little bit of extra defense once Adrenal Glands is there as well. I'm almost wondering if there's some world where eventually it's like where you see the upgrade race once, like a fast move to Adrenal upgrade for the Zerglings, and then kind of a similar tech war that you see in PvZ where it's like making sure that the Carapace versus +1 weapons or whatever. The problem is Fire Bats completely negate that all the way around. Anyway, I'm just digressing all over the place. So 4 barracks being constructed. We do have a sub 6 minute factory here, by the way, to get science vessels out as quickly as possible. Spire just finishing. We're going to see 9 Mutalisks take flight shortly. And we do have the single Sunken colony, but it looks like Shine is going to go ahead and move out to go ahead and grab a 4th gas. 2nd gas getting grabbed here from Brown. So it's going to be, so rather than 5 racks, this is interesting. So we're seeing 4 racks. So 4 racks +1 range, but a faster, so rather than going for that 5th barracks, instead going for a faster factory to get faster science vessels. And I'm wondering if that also, and we got a bunker defensively on the front to potentially deal with some additional pressure otherwise. I'll be interested to see whether the faster science vessel also opens up a faster dropship, because I can see dropships for obvious reasons being very, very powerful in this. 2nd evolution chamber drop, by the way, something we saw Solkey do in the build order, though he didn't go out and grab this 4th hatchery quite this rapidly. All sorts of Mutalisks making the way out. Starport about halfway constructed. Some turrets just now. So we got a couple turrets here to the north. No 3rd base take. This is the advantage of Zerg over Terran in this sort of thing, where it's like, okay, yeah, you got that 3rd base, it's easy to grab, but it's just so much harder to defend against Mutalisks because of those mobility, because of that mobility. And we got, yeah, all sorts of Mutalisks making the way across, finding the Marines making the way forward. Now they do have +1 weapon and they have range, and they're in pretty sizable numbers, but this is still a lot of Mutalisks. And right now, Shine doing some pretty good micro. It looks, looks like Brown able to focus fire at least one of the mules, getting a 2nd one down. That was 2 very quick Mutalisk losses. And this is, even off 4 racks, this is still pretty rapid construction here. We got the science facility already dropping. Starport has not yet dropped the control tower, but look for that shortly. So Brown, a little bit behind the SCV count where he wants to be. Shine, in the meantime, is just shot up. Man, he's got all sorts of drones in the space of this. Has really felt 0 pressure economically. This is the problem, is right now Shine, just macro-wise, is looking hero-esque, is checking whether that 3rd is there. And my concern now for Brown is this is kind of a clever way to get to the fast starport, but I don't, it looks like he's had to cut SCVs to make it happen. And with the SCV cut, my concern is that Shine will simply be able to outproduce him and overwhelm him. Tech to Hive already, a 4th hatchery, or 5th hatchery, I should say, getting dropped. We do have the +1 melee upgrade, Claws. I'm going to call it Claws, whether it's called Claws or not. That Claws. We have Speed being upgraded for the Zerglings as well. Irradiate being upgraded, in 1st science vessel out in the way. I won't say in record time, but in pretty rapid fashion. But Shine already has that 4th gas. His Hive just about to finish. No Queens in the midst of this. He also doesn't have a lot of Sunken colonies providing defense, but man, he's got a lot of Hydralisks, or a lot of Mutalisks. And he's going to have Zerglings, again, with that Adrenal upgrade here to start. This is actually my curiosity of where the meta is potentially going. This right here, actually. And I'm glad to see it from Shine. The problem is Brown isn't up to he's not flash level, right? So we'll see whether this will work against like a flash or a light or someone down the line. But anyway, 4 barracks continuing to build. I don't feel like Brown is going to feel all that comfortable until this marauding force of Mutalisks is dealt with. And for that, he's going to need an Irradiate to land. There's the initial science vessel kind of hiding to the corner. Some Marines pushing out, able to get some additional damage. At the very least, though, Shine took a lot of Mutalisk hits in the midst of this. So Brown right now just kind of hurt for SCVs, marching his way out. Now additional Sunken colonies drop. But the Zerglings are just scary. The Zerglings are just going to be very, very strong. They're going to have that Carapace upgrade to match the +1 weapons. There's no Firebats in the midst of this. The Mules will provide some support, and there's going to be the +1 weapons in the midst of this. By the way, we already have, yeah, we're going to see, we're seeing the skip of Lurker, by the way. So crazy, officially Crazy Zerg now, a bunch of Sunken Colonies dropped as well. And an Ultralisk, 2 Sunken Colonies up to the north. And we have an Ultralisk Cavern somewhere around here, because there it is, going for the upgrades. And Brown, I just feel like he's nearly behind in supply. And I think he's been behind supply. Yeah, now he's behind in supply by a significant margin. The Zerglings and Mutalisks going after the reinforcements should be able to crash down this natural expansion and get on top of these barracks without too much trouble. And so we're seeing a skip actually of Defiler altogether. And that I find very interesting, because it's like, yeah, go ahead and rush the Science Vessel. What are you going to irradiate? My Zerglings? Good luck in the midst of this. Several Scourge getting wiped out in the space of this. Looks like that Queen's Nest is going to be dispatched as well, but not needed anymore. Medic Marines trying to crash against this. Science Vessel's been wiped out. First Ultralisk out, but GG there from Brown. So no Queen in the midst of this, but I'm wondering if the Zergling... this is the thing, I could see the Zergling upgrade path being a thing even without the easy to procure third gas. And I just want to comment, this is such a hard map for TVZ. Holy cow, poor Brown. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.